today I'm so excited I can't even sit down. What I want to talk about is very cool. I mean, one of the coolest things that I've done in this city. Last Monday, me and Alyssa, we've been to this place. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been to King's Landing. And of course, as always, we made a lot of footages. The entrance.
We are at King's Landing.
We are at King's Landing, guys. King's Landing. Let's get it out of the way. This King's Landing has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. Or to YouTube audience, Game of Thrones is a fiction. But then hey, what is this place? Well, King's Landing happens to be a historical settlement, this living museum that transfers you back to the past. It is an actual village. I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. It's a complete village with its own population, animals, holidays, everything. So what do you want to do first?
I don't know, let's just walk around a bit. We got an hour before the next thing, which is, there's a horsey ride. It's just like the olden days.
The olden days. So this is a full-on village, eh?
Yeah, and you can go into each building and stuff.
Upon entrance you can smell the horses right away. In fact, there was a lot of horse poop on the roads, which made the whole thing more believable. The first house we entered was the Lind house in the 1830s. It smelled wonderful in there thanks to the fire, and the villagers were in there gossiping and chatting with us. By this point my mind was completely blown away.
The sister's making tools for the braided rug in there.
Right.
She's making.
Trying to get it finished.
Yes.
Trying, eh?
She's trying to teach her too. She's a little slow sometimes.
Don't even try.
We checked out the second floor with a tiny ceiling and a weird sawing machine. Then we were on our way to the blacksmith, who spoke beautifully of his profession. Also, I got a little confused by how to approach my presence in this community.
So, you said just talk to them.
Yeah.
But just talk to them as somebody from the future.
On our way to the longhouse, we encountered a cow with horns. I mean, I didn't even know cows have horns. No big deal. At the longhouse, we got dressed up by Mr. Long's daughter herself, and when she asked,
I don't know if you have anything I can take your portrait with.
I was mesmerized. Portrait. What a beautiful word.
You look pretty good in that dress.
Thanks.
Are we in the wrong century? What happened to fashion? What did happen?
What happened? Fashion died.
It died. And man started wearing scarves, it died.
At the Fisher house we met with the town's carpenter, who was working on some wooden kitchenware that time. And if you think these guys are only actors, think again, he made every single piece at the house by himself. He works as a carpenter in real life. We had a wonderful conversation with him.
Like, that's what I love about working in this with these tools is you can smell it, and it's then you get that sweetness.
That's sweet of the cherry.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
At the next house the lady just finished cooking some corn. Needless to say, it was one of the best corn I've ever had. The crowd was gathering for a turkey shooting contest, where the turkey might have been printed on paper, but the guns were as authentic as they can be, with the gunpowder and the bullet and stuff. Man, that thing was loud. And no, I didn't try it out because I still can't close my left eye.
School starts in 5 minutes.
Then we met with Timothy Kylian's wife. They are Irish immigrants and the husband was out building the roads. She told stories about the hard life immigrants had to face at the time in New Brunswick, and when someone asked about her wool, she said,
I don't get too fancy like the Eustace ladies. I've heard about their dyeing process, and they've got...
Remember the Eustace ladies? Yeah, they are the fancy ones. I think Mrs. Kylian wasn't a big fan of that household. She had a pig in the backyard too with giant balls, no big deal.
Yes, I believe I heard that. Who was that?
That was her.
1 furlong? Very good. 8 furlongs.
Here I'm using Google's Photo Spare app that creates these beautiful 360-degree images. I'll leave a link in the description, check them out.
Kind of looking like an idiot right now, but that's okay.
At the farmhouse, the lovely ladies offered us tea as we were in awe of the beautiful furniture and colors. I mean, seriously, what happened? The Ingraham house followed, which featured a beautiful garden, even more beautiful wallpapers, a sheep.
You are lucky.
Delicious, eh?
It's just like, this is all I do.
And running water.
The miracle of running water. Oh my god.
Yeah, there was running water in the building. You cannot get fancier than that. As we were walking in and out of buildings, enjoying this very unique atmosphere, we noticed a large crowd gathering at the town center. Maybe it's a public execution, maybe it's a circus in town, neither. It was dancing, man. Good old-fashioned group dancing at its finest, Now that's what I call quality entertainment. The townfolk and us, the future people, enjoying ourselves as one. Right after the dance we had an authentic turkey dinner, took a last look at the animals as it was time to come back to the present.
Oh, this place is cool.
Overall, King's Landing was a place to see, a magical place where maybe artificially, but time has stopped in a world that was much simpler than the one we live in right now. I've learned a lot and I had great fun the whole time. I'm sure I'll be visiting again, and who knows, maybe I'll make a lot of footages. Overall we had a blast. I really enjoyed being there. It's kind of crazy that now we pay, you know, an entrance fee and there's this whole setup for us to see how people lived 150 years ago. 150 years is really not that long. If you look back how people lived in the 1850s, that kind of type of living is not that much different than how they lived 200 or 300 years ago from that point. The way we evolved in the last 150 years, I think it's not just fascinating, but it's kind of scary too in a way for me. I remember cloud computing was a huge deal in 2011, and now it's basically everywhere. It's one of the most basic things now. You can't even make an email address without a free 5 gig storage somewhere in the cloud. Probably in 100 years, people are gonna pay money to see how we lived right now, how we were able to live with high-speed internet, you know, instead of the things that we're gonna have in the future. We're gonna have these settlements that's gonna kind of represent the city we live in right now. Just to think about that is, I think that's pretty crazy. So yeah, historical settlement, that's the key. I cannot wait to actually start editing this. So I'm not really wasting any more time. Bye! What happened? My blood is 100% Hungarian. We are famous for puddered mustaches and shit, and I get this gene that creates a mustache that looks like a Halloween costume.